Let's start with the team in South Beach first. The Miami Dolphins. Nick, I'm going to start with I'm going to start with Q.
I was about to say it looked like Q want to go first.
I want to get Q's opinion on this first because I got some things to say about the Dolphins too. Don't you worry. So I'll tee it off for Q first.
Go ahead, Q.
Q, are the Miami Dolphins pretenders or contenders?
For the same reason why the Detroit Lions are contenders is the exact reason why Miami can't be contenders. Their defense is not it. Yeah, you hoping for Jalen Ramsey to come back and fix the defense. One corner on his not on his last leg, but an older corner coming off an injury shouldn't be a saving grace. You brought in Vic Fangio to save the defense. He hasn't clocked in yet. It's just not suitable for winning. And when you go up against a team that, especially probably in the playoffs, that they have weeks to prepare, because you're not preparing real rigorously in a week 7 game against Miami. You're just going out there doing your thing. You do your due diligence enough, but not so much that you're trying to win in a high leverage moment, because it's not serious, but not so serious. We've seen this team get had. When they play a good team, they get beat, because good teams usually can throw the ball. If you can throw the ball against Miami, you can beat Miami. You should beat them fair and square, especially if you know what to do with Tyreek Hill and or Jalen Waddle or get to Tua. Their line's still not that good. Their offensive line bad. Their secondary is even worse. Those they're not elements that are conducive to, winning football in the playoffs. It just won't happen, especially if they have to go to Kansas City in January, or they got to go to Buffalo in January, or they got to go to Baltimore in January. Cold weather teams is just not going to happen. Like, people will have the number on Tyreek. Like, Tyreek, I understand he's like, one of the most impressive weapons of all time. But I said this like a couple weeks ago. The Bills know how to, they know how to contain Tyreek, and we've seen it time and time again. He's about 45 yards per game against them. Jam him up, mess up the timing, get to the quarterback, you're going to be fine. A lot of the good teams know how to get to the quarterback. If you can get to Tua and rush him, he's going to make mistakes. We've seen that. And if that even if that doesn't happen, they still score 25 points. 9 times out of 10, they score 25, you score 35, because you can't stop. Like, you're just not going to stop them. We've seen Baltimore go crazy. Lamar Jackson had 400 total yards. Josh Allen, 350 total yards. What do you think Patrick Mahomes is going to do to them? Yeah. These are the teams. Any of the teams that they face in the first round, they will lose to, because they're going to be able to throw the ball. There's not many teams in the conference that can't throw.
No, listen, you're 100% correct, and I'll just piggyback off of it. The Miami Dolphins have been frauds. They've been frauds since last year, and they're continuing to be frauds. For all the points that Q just mentioned, their defense is their weak point. They're not stopping. And if you're hoping for Jalen Ramsey to come back, my only point is he's coming off a knee injury. And I know it's not a torn ACL or an MCL, and it was a meniscus repair, but that's still a knee injury. And he's coming back a little bit earlier than a lot of people, I think, expected. What is he going to be able to give you? And last time we saw Jalen Ramsey, he wasn't the same guy that we remember. I don't want to sound disrespectful, because he was still a top 10, top 5 cornerback, but it was a little bit more bark than bite, I should say. Sorry. And yeah, that offense, the offensive line, Armstead can't really stay healthy. The offensive line has been had, and we know if you get to Tua, you touch him up, like Q said, this guy starts tap dancing, all right? And he starts getting wobbled under pressure. And I think the best way to describe this is the best way to describe this: the Dolphins are frauds, right? Their wins, all their wins this year have come all under 500 teams. Okay, they're the combined record of the teams they've beaten, guys, 8-25. They've lost to the Eagles and Bills this year. And then listen to this. Tua last year in December was 0-3 on the road against playoff teams. They can't be good teams. They can't be good teams.
It's on the tape already. Like, people lying about the tape. It's because when you see Tyreek Hill go off a $125 and 2 touchdowns, and you see Raheem Mostert run, break off a run for 70 plus yards, like, wow, this offense is amazing. But those are big plays. This is a big play merchant type team. It's not like Raheem Mostert is dotting you up for four yards of carry, dominate time possession. It's not like Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, they're getting 10 yards of catch, and they, first down, and they They controlling, time of possession. They're trying to go out there and get wins, go up big, and that's it. You can't really do it. Like other teams are just not gonna allow you to do that. Like the Eagles literally had the ball damn near the whole game. It's hard to have an electric offense when you don't get the ball.
Yeah,
it's a tough feel, and like you said, and then I'll let Nick go. What to piggyback, when everything is perfect, Tua looks great, right? Like you said, but when things go sideways, when things go sideways, he can't stop the bleeding. He can't, and it spirals along with them. So Nick, what do you think of the Dolphins? Pretenders or contenders?
Nah, you gotta go with pretenders, honestly, because like everything I had written down, everything I had in my head, y'all literally just said it.
Yeah.
Like I love Jalen Ramsey as much as the next guy. I love the way he talks. I love the way he plays corner. But when he comes back, he's not gonna like. He's like a little Band-Aid on a whole like skin tear. Like, bro, It's not gonna help.
It's not helping.
It's not gonna help. Once you get the Tua fumbles. Like it's not. Like it's just not. It's like yes, the offense is high powered, big plays, all that, but it's not gonna. It's just not gonna work. It's not work. And I love Mike and I love
Mike McDaniel.
Mike McDaniel, like I love him. I think he's great, but it's just not. It's not it. Like
he's an offensive genius. But yeah, the Dolphins, and we know about this to wrap up the Dolphins. They're a warm weather team. And like you said earlier, he alluded to it. They got to go to Baltimore, Kansas City, Buffalo, places like that. That's just going to be tough. And I know, they went to Buffalo last year in the playoffs and they put up points, but they lost. And that was with Skylar Thompson, which is another feather in the cap of the system.